Hello, everybody. Nah, I just tried something different. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Matt Likes Comics on the Comic Talk Tuesday. Hope everybody out there is having a good day. As you may tell, I'm finally getting over the cold. I'm not coughing as much, and my throat's a little sore still, but from all the coughing. But we're getting rid of it, so the voice will do for today. I'm glad to see everybody who's come tonight because we have for a wonderful guest tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present possibly the nicest person that's ever been on YouTube, the one and only Steve Driskell, Comics with Stevey D. Steve, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be here and ready to talk about drawing and artwork and show a lot of pictures.
That's awesome. I've also noticed on your regular channel that you've been getting quite a bit of new books lately. Have you in particular got any favorites from the books that you've been buying recently?
Well, I got a gift from Nate and Johnny. It was the first issue of Gru, which is one of my characters I collect, and it was signed by Sergio Aragones with a little drawing on the splash page. Actually, it was two books.
Have you got it handy? Have you got it handy? We can show it off, or
yeah, give me a second. I gotta get up and get it.
Of course. In the meantime, let's talk about the channel real quick. We are 35 subscribers away from the giveaway. We are at 765. I want to thank everybody who has subscribed recently. We had a nice surge of people join subscribe recently. I've had a couple new members join the channel. I want to thank you very much for that. We are setting up for the holidays. I've got people coming on the Comic Talk Tuesday right through to the end of the year. I can't wait to share them with you. The last Tuesday of the year, I'm going to have Chonko and Rich on with me, and we're going to talk about the year that was. And next week, I've got Brittany from Comic Showcase Shop coming on. All right, Steve, you're back. Let's make you big real quick.
Okay. This was my copy that I had already had of the first issue of Gru. And inside, I'll show you on the other one, from Johnny through Paul Yeah Comics. And this comic book is in beautiful shape.
That is gorgeous.
I mean, it's pristine. And it's signed by Sergio Aragones on the splash page. And he has an illustration he drew. And he's facing himself. That's a self-portrait on the first page of his book.
Very cool.
So it's a treasured item in my collection. And I got another signed book too from him. And I'm very appreciative and happy to add that to the collection. And I just bought I buy back issues mostly, but I was in the shop on my last hunt and I said, I knew the Hulk's Smash Everything was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I bought that, and the first 2 pages was great. And then it went downhill, just like that. So I'm not going to get the next issue. I hope they don't do that with Iron Man, which is supposed to be coming out shortly too. Another reboot of Iron Man.
Yeah, I've heard that there's going to be a lot more reboots again. It's just they never stop. All right, before we get much further, let's say hi to everybody who stopped by to see you in the chat. Number 1 tonight, we've got Kay Munin. Hi, Andreas. It's good to see you. And we have Rob Saint. Hi, Rob. We've got Lewis from Second Floor Comics. Good to see you. Oh, Nate from Holyak Comics is here. Whoop, whoop. I'm here for Stevey D. Who isn't? No one's here for me. We're all here for Stevey D. All right. We've got Robbie Josephs. Robbie, it's good to see you in the chat. We've got Cor from Denmark. He was looking forward to put a face to the fantastic Mr. Stevey D. I guess he hasn't seen you before. Chords. I hope you check him out. He's got a nice little channel. Jeff Jack is here. Good to see you, Jeff. Lyle's here saying he's your man. Woot woot. I totally agree with that. And let's see who else we've got here. We've got Rich from Big Nasty Comics.
Yeah.
Good to see you. And speaking of our next guest, we've got Comic Showcase Shop. Brittany's in the chat. Hi everybody. I've been watching your videos so I can be prepared for you next week, just so you know. All right, now we've got, who else have we got here? Did someone say Stevie D? We've got Mr. Akins. Good to see you.
Mr. Akins, my iron brother.
And Adam's here tonight, up in Adam Comics.
There's another one.
And we've got Den Kyle 212 here tonight, or 312, sorry. And apparently K Munin thinks he's the nicest guy who goes out of the way that the ferret sucks. Thanks, K Munin. I would never know that if you weren't here to tell me. And I think that might be everybody. Nope, we've got Steven. I collect
Hey,
06.
Steve. I never met a Steve I didn't like.
And that's everybody. Oh, we've got Hall saying if you haven't hit that thumbs up button, you better do so because Santa's watching. And it's true because I'm sitting here right here next to the guy who looks like the poster boy for being Santa. Steve, you are just, I saw your Christmas books. They are absolutely awesome, among other things. So let's get into it. I brought you here because late in life, as we were talking before, you have decided to become an artist and work and learn how to draw. I, of course, happen to be the wonderful owner of a couple pieces of original Stevie D art, which I'm going to take a second to show before we get started. First of all, we've got this nice piece that Steve sent me. Has a nice note on the back. This, of course, is where it's like, my name is Matt. I like comics, and I'm wearing a Smurf hat. And he managed to even draw all the numbers on my boxes. He got everything right down to the T. I was very, very pleased when I got this one. Last year, little background. Last year when I was nominated, but it didn't make the finals for the Spinnies last year, my daughter was crying. And when I told that story, Steve sent me this, one of his first drawings ever. He sent me this thing where it says, Matt has won the first ever comic collector of the Cosmos Award for being a great dad, putting the feelings of his child above his own. This makes him a true hero in the real world. His reward will be a super bond in his relationship with his daughter that is far better than any other prize. Super dad will always save the day. And he drew a little trophy there and everything. And when he sent this, I was very, very, very humbled. And I want to thank you very much, Steve.
Well, you're welcome. Okay, so we're going to start with superheroes because that's what got me interested in art in the first place. And Iron Man has always been my favorite character. And so here's an Iron Man I drew. And this is when I first started doing etching to bring out muscles and things like that.
Well, I'll be honest, you're getting really good at the body proportions. Have you bought any books to help you with this stuff, or are you just doing it all by freehand?
Well, I haven't bought any books, but Chonko Mike sent me how to draw comics the Marvel way, and I've watched a ton of videos on YouTube how to draw a nose, how to draw a hand, how expressions and things like that. And so I constantly look at art. When I go to Instagram, everybody posts all the wonderful comic books. So I sit there and I look at them, man, that artist is so good. How can you ever get that good? Well, what it is, it's a lifetime of work, working at it. And what I've noticed is I was a instrumental music teacher in my career before I retired about 10 years ago. And there's a lot of creations from instrumental music to art, rhythm and form and texture and the discipline it takes to develop the skill. All those things are very common, and also manual dexterity, and so some of those things I already had in my mind from what I made my life out of the first art farm, which was music, trumpet. And so I told myself, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to really try to draw every single day for a couple hours, because that's what it takes to get good at anything. You gotta have a strong work ethic and be very disciplined in your approach to trying to learn something new. So, with that little spiel, here's the Submariner talking with Charlie Tuna.
Yeah, that's cute. I like Charlie Tuna. To be honest, some of the best commercials from the 1970s and 80s were of the chicken of the sea there, or tuna of the sea with Charlie.
And here's a Hulk. I got several versions. For some reason, I don't put a neck on my Hulk. I see him drawn that way a lot. And this was one of my earlier ones. Experimentation is the thing. Now, this is an early picture I drew that turned out really good. It's Galactus.
Yes, that's actually one of my favorite ones that you did that you sent me. I actually I saved this one to my phone because I thought it was really good and I was going to use it for other things. We have a question for you, by the way, from Core. Stevie D, do you know the artist Jean-Michel Basquiat?
No.
Core, could you tell us more about this artist? I don't think I've heard of him either. You can keep going there, Steve, in the meantime.
Okay. And my favorite female Marvel character was from an Avenger, Mockingbird. And
yes, she's one of my favorite characters too.
And when she got killed off at the end of the West Coast Avengers, I almost cried, because I liked her so much. And she saved the Scarlet Witch, and by doing so, it cost her life. She was heroic.
Hasn't she come back since, though?
Oh yeah, but it's never the same. Yeah,
that's true.
And here's a happy Iron Man. He's just got a silly look on his face, and I drew his helmet weird. But here's a pretty cool thing. I like all the texture on this one.
That is really cool. You with the different colored rocks and stuff, you actually give it some layering, and I think that's great.
Yep. And he's who I'm collecting now. I need about 7 issues to finish that up. Here's the superhero I invented. She's called Boomerang Girl. She can take off her mask and take out the villains.
Very cool.
And some of these things are based on real characters, and I just adapt them to my imagination. And here's Wonder Woman. And what's cool about this is Hagen sent me the program from Heroes Con, signed by a whole bunch of content creators. And inside the program, this is the image I tried to copy. So if anybody out there has that program still, that's the Wonder Woman from there.
Very cool. We've had a question. Lyle wants to know if you've attempted to draw Sonic the Hedgehog versus Lois Lane with Kay Munin as referee.
No, but it's a possibility.
That sounds funny. And that's
okay. And here's another one I invented. Kind of a barbarian type woman. And
Right.
if you look in the tree, there's a snake, kind of like an Adam and Eve reference.
Very
She's
cool.
going to chop that snake's head off. And here's another one I invented.
What's the name of that character? The barbarian-looking woman.
I don't know. I didn't give her a name, but later on, here's another one I invented. They're kind of all based on who's the gal in Conan?
Red Sonja?
Red Sonja, yeah. They're all kind of based on that. And she's talking to plants. Plants are sentient on this planet.
Very cool.
Now, imagine a date between Hank Pym and the Black Widow. So they've just conquered the villains and they're out having a celebratory drink. And he fell into her drink. And she said to him, Hank, I said you could have a sip of my drink, not a dip in it.
Nice.
Sorry, Natasha. Someone sneezed and it blew me in. You know? So I like humor. I try to make people happy. I try to make people smile. If a person can get a giggle out of something. Okay. Everybody's talking about red shirts. I got the one issue in red and it was okay. I know everybody loves it. But I drew a red shirt guy.
Oh, very nice.
And the loudspeaker is going, please report to the teleporter room for landing party duty. And he's going, oh, snap. Beam me up, Scotty. He don't want to go down because he knows what's going to happen.
When you send me these pictures, I think it's awesome. Like I enjoy whenever you send me a new one.
Well, here's a character you like. It's Super Matt.
Comics. Oh, very cool.
It's Matt Likes Comics. And instead of the Daily Planet, it's the Daily YouTube.
Oh, very cool.
And you got in the windows of the building, you got Perry White and Lois Lane and Jimmy Olsen and Lana Lang and Stevie D.
Because Stevie D has to be there.
Yep. And every time I draw Batman, Batman's hard to draw. I want to draw a mean Batman, but they always come out not mean, you know, a grimacing looking Batman. But I like the skyline in this one. And you can tell I have a lot of comic book influences, considering.
Jeff is saying that your art reminds him of folk artist Howard Finster. I'm not sure if I know who that is, but if I get an idea if there's a similarity there, and that's very cool.
Oh, well, speaking of the Hulk, I got another one, and he's dialoguing, and he goes, Hulk smash, big nasty comic books. Ha ha ha. Then Adam, Mr. Akins, then Stevie D, Chonko's next, Son of Crom, Nate, Hagen, Matt, and Stan Lee, Eric, and that furry beast man, Wolverine for dessert.
Very cool.
So you have the superheroes saying stuff that they wouldn't say in the books. And it's I think it's humorous.
Vampirella, very cool.
And Dracula's, there's this tombstone down at the bottom, and she's and the moon and her are having a dialogue. Vampy, why do you dress so trampy? And she replies, the same reason why you are always mooning us. It's your thing. And the little bat.
We got another question here from Core. He's asking if you ever giggle while drawing.
Yes, I do. And I figure when I'm drawing something and I want to make it humorous, all the time I'm drawing and I'm thinking of the dialogue that would be funny. No, that stinks. That stinks. That stinks. That stinks. And then I get a little giggle out of one. I'll put that in. And if it made me laugh, it might make someone else laugh. Like this scene here. You got all these guys playing poker together. You got Wolverine and the Thing and Ghost Rider and Iron Man. And they won't let Iron Man play because he's a mathematical genius and he can count cards. So they're making him do the beer, Give me some chips. Get me some beer. Hurry up. And they're
King
giving
Munin is asking if you've ever attempted to draw a zombie tramp.
a zombie tramp. No, but I have some. Once I finished with superheroes, I got some good girl art that I like to draw. And speaking of good girl, there is my version of Catwoman, and she's got bats on the brain. And for my childhood, we have Underdog.
Underdog. Now, see, this is what I'm going to say. So far, from what I've seen, you're doing the cartoon type characters is your best work. And I think that by getting these down really well, your superheroes will get even better as a result. I think that you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. And I know I have to be very precise when I draw characters that people have watched since their childhood and they're very familiar with. So you really can't fake it or anything, you know?
Robbie has a question. We have seen how good you've gotten. How do you feel about your progression?
Well, every once in a while I feel like I'm getting a little better. And I look at this picture here. This is something I did 10 months ago on a fictitious place called Bikini Island, where I draw bikini ladies, the beautiful woman's farm. And this is months and months of later after drawing, and this is the actual comic book that I drew.
Very good. That is awesome.
So this is about 7 or 8 months in from her to her. Like the eye doctor. Is number 1 better or number 2? I just had my eyes examined.
I need to get my head examined, but that's beside the point.
So there has been progress. It's never fast enough for me, but here's a Batman that I just drew. I call him Stocky Batman. I just want to get him with the, how Batman has the mean look when he's. I'm working on doing it. That's why I draw a lot of Batmans, and they always come out cartoony for me. But here's one. Eric from SideQuest and Up and Adam and Big Nasty and myself do this thing called Scribbles. It's an art jam on SideQuest channel. And he said, well, why don't we draw the Frank Miller Wolverine? So that week I was practicing. I drew it 4 or 5 different times, and this is the final product.
Oh, that is really good. I remember watching part of that show. I couldn't finish it because I had to go somewhere else, and I meant to get back to the end. So I'm glad you showed that. I wanted to.
So I sent him in my Christmas video. He mentioned he liked a particular book, so I sent it to him, and then I sent him I hope he's got. I don't know if he's got it yet. He's got all those Wolverines I drew last in between. And Dr. Hugo Strange in the DC world shrunk Batman down and chained him to a batarang and tossed him out the window. And Batman's going, he shrunk down and he's on the batarang and he's going, he's tied up and he's chained to the batarang. Any heroes around, DC, Marvel, even Indie, at this point, I'll take all the help I can get. Now I know how the Atom and Ant-Man feel.
Hi,
Mike. And here is Spider-Woman. I got her rib cage sticking out too far, but I love her hair.
Listen, there's another picture of her with her butt sticking out too far. So if her rib cage is sticking out, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and when you look at the professional artists in comic books and stuff, they just make everything look so good. And here is somebody from my youth.
Space Ghost.
Space Ghost.
You know,
And
I love the fact that Space Ghost was voiced by that guy, that one guy who has like done 1,000 voices similar to what
Mel Blanc.
Mike did. You know, it was so cool. It's too bad that Don, I can't remember his last name, but I can picture him. You know, but the thing is, he passed away about 10 years ago, and that was too bad because he did a lot of great voices.
Oh yeah, I saw him on Johnny Carson one night, and he was fantastic. He was doing all his characters, and the audience gave him a standing ovation, just like they gave Mr. Rogers too. And
Lyle, I don't think Steve knows who Rocket Robin Hood is. That's a Canadian thing.
And there's my Santa I drew this year.
Oh, very cool.
I like his beard. There's a whole lot of detail in his.
You should actually think about making this your little icon in your little picture until Christmas is over.
Yeah, that might be fun. And then
Jay Munin has a question. Have you ever drawn any anime characters?
I have one in this book that looks like an anime, but I don't really try to do that because that's not the genre that I prefer. But with Son of Crom and Adam and Garage Geek and Mike from Casino Comics, we do a cowboy show,
right?
And so I drew a bunch of Western art, and I really like this one.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't think I posted this one. And
no, I don't think I've seen that one before.
And here's another
Gary
one.
Owens, that's it. Thank you, Coach. Gary Owens.
And
that's the guy I was thinking of.
And then I drew this. It's like Ancient Farmer, which is kind of cool. I like the way the grain turned out, you know.
Very cool.
And like my technique is developing slowly, but my imagination is my strongest suit, I think, as an artist, thinking up things. And here's a little boy. His mom and dad got him an Ant-Man costume for Halloween, and he's got an ant in his hand, little ant, and he's going, I know they got me the costume, but how am I going to fit into it? Thinking it'll be real small. And here's a mad scientist and a guy named Mr. Klutz. He falls into a vat of pin particles, and he shrinks down. He's in the petri dish right there. But the mad scientist is looking at him, and his face is on the monitor.
Oh, very cool.
And the little guy's going, how long am I going to be like this? I've already been like this for a couple of weeks. He goes, my best guess is a very long time.
The one thing I'm proud of that in all my partying days is I never woke up in a petri dish. I've woke up in some strange places, but never a petri dish.
And here is Wimpy, which after I drew it, my buddy Adam said he liked it, so I sent him it. So I always take a picture, and if I like them, I'll get them developed. So that's Wimpy. Nice. And instead of hamburgers, he's saying, I will gladly pay you Tuesday for a comic book today. And he's reading the comic book.
Very cool.
And he's got comics on the plate.
That's cool.
Here's one of my characters, a silly one. Brickyard. You know?
Brickyard. Wow. Those are interesting pants.
Well, everything's made out of bricks. And he says, born in a brickyard. Red is my favorite color. After a big meal, I can even shit bricks. Excuse me. I'm Brickyard. I can take care of all these pesky supervillains by popping them in the jaw with my fist. Then I will be on the A-list of heroes. You should see my girlfriend. She's built like a brick shithouse, you know? Sorry for any children that are watching.
I don't think I have many children.
And Here's another one, a comical hero, Horsefly Man.
Horsefly Man. Oh,
So he's got the wings, and then I like space scenes. I got a lot of space art I do. And in the moon, I like
that
the
is cool. That makes me think of a lot of good interesting covers and pictures from the late '60s.
and a funny story about the next two drawings. I was laying in bed and I had a comic board and a green pen. And I was watching TV, so I drew this. And it's just a nature scene with a grasshopper and in the field.
Very
A
neat.
couple of weeks later, I have a comic board and nothing to draw with. I looked down on the floor and there was a blue pen. So I drew a blue companion piece to it.
Very
And
nice.
blue and green go good together. So I side by side.
Very cool.
See, I thought that was a fun drawing there. And I'll show you another nature one, and then I got a lot of superheroes I haven't shown. Here's the mother bird over her nest.
Wow, that's a good contrast.
Now, here is my supervillain I drew,
Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
That is very detailed. I like it.
Yeah, and here's the cartoon character, Mighty Mouse.
Now, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is very good.
See, sometimes I think, who am I going to draw? And I'll try Mighty Mouse, and I'll Google Mighty Mouse, and a bunch of images will come up, and I'll look at them. Sometimes I'll try to draw a particular one, or sometimes I mix ideas from the drawings I've looked at. And speaking of mice, there's Mickey.
Hi, everybody. Oh, that hurt.
Never mind. All right.
I'm happy to be here with Stevey D.
And I drew Gru #1, and this took a long time. And
that is one of your best pieces of work. That is by far one of your best pieces of the work.
#1 or #2? I got new glasses.
Jeff has a question here. He wants to know if you've drawn crypto.
Oh, I did it. Eric said, draw a super animal, and I did it on his show, like 5-minute sketch. But I haven't really tried to sit down and take time. Each one of these drawings takes an hour and a half to 2 hours to do, sometimes more, sometimes less, depending how the art flows out of you. Inspiration is a big part of it. Now, Lunch Money Comics, sometimes I ask people, who should I draw next? I got a couple funny stories coming up. Awesome. And I messaged Mike and I said, I'm going to draw an X-Men next. And he goes, Nightcrawler? And I go, no, it was the Wolverine. But he did. After that, I got out my Nightcrawler 4-issue miniseries.
Very cool.
And drew the image off the cover.
That's nice. I recognize that instantly. That's a good job.
And so sometimes in my progression, I draw characters trying to be exact like the artist had drawn them. And sometimes I'm free with the character. And I'm free with the character on this one. Harley Quinn, the DC girl.
Very cool.
And she's got the croquet mallet. I love her face on this. It's sort of anime a little bit. And the dynamite. It's just, I got her in character really good. Here's another Iron Man. But I drew his hip plates different. Instead of frisbees, I drew them kind of pointed. And I like the boot work on this one. So every drawing has its pluses and minuses. All right, now here's the funny story. So, of course, after asking Mike what to draw, Adam wanted Dr. Doom. I asked Lyle, what do you want me to draw next? Thinking, oh, he's going to pick some golden age superhero I don't know, and I'll have to research it. And here's who he picked. Love me tender, love me
I
sweet.
love that. I love me some Elvis.
And it's dedicated, Elvis dedicated to Lyle. Last time I asked him who to draw. And here's my Christmas Batman. I wasn't trying to get a mean face on this one. Just I drew the cape real weird, and so I said, well, how can I fix it? Well, I'll put Christmas colors in there. So, and then I put season's greetings.
Very cool. And of course, Lyle. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah. And the boots turned out really good on Batman. Every drawing has something good about it, and it'll transfer eventually from one drawing to another. And when I was a kid, my dad would get the Sunday paper and I would read the funnies on the floor, and Beetle Bailey was always one of my favorites.
See, you have a knack for these cartoony type characters. And as I said, that's a great way to build. When you get these ones down the cartooning, it becomes so much easier to draw the other stuff.
Yeah. And you got to be exact because everybody knows what they look like. And here's a Catwoman cracking a whip on Stevey D right there. And what I love about this drawing is her face and her hair.
That's a lot of hair.
Yeah, but they always exaggerate the hair on female characters, and exaggeration is a part of art, and when you communicate something to the person looking at the art, something will catch their attention. And here is
Cornholio. Awesome.
That turned out pretty good, I thought. And
shut up, Beavis. I love it.
And he goes, I am the great Cornhole. I need TP for my bunghole. And the other guy's going, ha, 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 ha. You said anus. That was cool. And then he goes, his signature line, that's Cornholio, you dumbass. So that's my idea of humor. Here's a recent one, the Silver Surfer.
Nice.
I like the way he's shooting around the universe. It's very stoic. And the board, I copied the design, off of a Silver Surfer image I saw, but I drew him. He's my interpretation of the Silver Surfer.
Oh, I think it's a perfect one. Interpretation is always good, and that's a beautiful one.
And I drew this one this week. It was Fred Flintstone.
This is probably my favorite of everything that you've done, especially once you added Pebbles.
Yeah, and then I went and added Pebbles because, he's a family guy.
Lau has a question for you. Do you know an artist that's not a comic artist?
Well, I've always liked going to the art museum, looking at cultured art. Since I was very young, I've always enjoyed that experience. What comes to mind is the sketch work of Leonardo da Vinci because of the precision, like his anatomy drawings and things like that, his helicopter, his battle tank, and things like that caught my interest. I would have to give him the nod. My favorite comic book artist is Alex Ross because he drew 1,000,000 Iron Mans. And here is Batwoman in my interpretation of a drawing, several drawings I mixed together. But I particularly like the bat insignia on her top and then the bat belt around her utility
Cool.
belt.
Very
And
cool.
the purple, I wanted, you know how the famous Batwoman cover with the purplish tone
Yeah.
costume. That's what I was going for, but my purple color was much deeper than that. And here's one I recently drew, trying to copy a Jack Kirby.
Nice.
Now I loved in the 70s. That's when I was reading comic books. Uh, so I Captain America and the Avengers. Now Robbie Joseph posts all of these Captain Marvels. So I drew, this is the second Captain Marvel, because the first one I'll show you in a little bit. His uniform is too red. His uniform's more pinkish like this, but I really kind of like the cape, the way, and the belt, if the detail on the belt.
The cape has always been one of my favorite aspects of Captain Marvel's costume.
And here's the one I was talking about. It's probably a better drawing, but the coloring is too bright of a red. But I like what I did with the colored pencils. You know, lots of times they make a character glow by doing things around them, you know. And I'm getting better at boots. When I was a kid, one of my favorite cartoons was Go Speed Racer. That's
Go Speed Racer, go Speed Racer, go. Yeah, great stuff.
Racer X, the big brother. And then I just drew this little chunky guy, Porky Pig.
Nice.
That's all, folks. He was
That's-
hard to draw.
I believe it.
Because nothing about him, because he's an animal, and I'm used to drawing humans. It's an animal with human characteristics.
Mm-hmm. Porky Pig was the first big breakout star for Warner Brothers, and a lot of people don't realize that he was first. And when Porky Pig and then Daffy Duck was second, and then Elmer Fudd and then Bugs Bunny came out, that it became a big deal. But Porky was the start, and you know what he did? It's too bad there aren't more Porky cartoons, because they stopped doing major ones of him after the 50s, and it's too bad.
Oh yeah, I watched those merry melodies all the time when I was a kid. And there's Popeye, and he said his little dialogue is, "I'll give a can of spinach to anyone who watches comics with Stevie D."
Came in and says, "Did you know that there's a new Racer X comic series currently ongoing?"
No, I did not. But that might be something to look into the next time I get to a shop, which is a 70-mile round trip for me.
Mm-hmm.
And here is one. I got an idea from a Star Wars comic book I was looking at, and I like the way that the dress was flowing in the wind around the farm of the body of the lady. So I put her in a cave, and I like to draw fire, you know,
very cool
torches and stuff. And then the sea, I like to draw the sea. And that's my new way of drawing clouds, kind of straight on the bottom. And here is a silhouetted captain and a giant moon.
Very nice. Now, what I like about that one, hold that one up for a second. Okay. What I like about that one is you're starting to show perspective, and you're starting to show movement. And I think that is a very big step that you're making towards things. I think that's great.
Oh yeah, it's trying not to make everything look flat. That's one of my goals too. I got a few more. Here's who I drew today. Yogi Bear and his friend Boo Boo. They're gonna go get a picnic basket and
Yeah.
hide from Mr. Ranger. Hey, 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 where's Cindy Bear?
See, again, this is a really, really good one. Like this to me is showing where your talent is getting much better, and it's good to see that all this work that you've done is paying off. It's amazing.
Well, thank you. And here's a woman with a lot on her mind. This is just a drawing of a woman with a lot on her mind. You know, it's a mood piece, kind of,
Mhm.
you know. And here's a gothic girl, which is, I try all different kinds of styles and genres. See the etching on her face, like an etched print.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going for with her. And the last one, and before I show some other type, I
Have
saw a
you
picture
tried?
of this.
Miles asking if you've tried drawing the Great Gazoo.
Who?
The Great Gazoo. That was the little floaty guy that was on the
Oh
little
yeah,
elf.
yeah, the guy with the helmet. I was
Yeah.
thinking about that. I was thinking about George Jetson, and the Flintstones have that. But you ever see those crossover movies where the
Yes.
Jetsons meet the Flintstones?
Yes. They were interesting.
I was in a Cracker Barrel one day, Halloween time, and I was, they got the gift shop right by it, and I saw a picture of a skull on an album cover, and I said, "Man, I like that." And I went home,
Nice.
and this drawing took hours because of the detail in the. There's a ton of detail, and I'm slow. I'm not fast like Sergio Aragone's. I'm a slow artist, and it took me a while. And before I started drawing, I had this Armor Wars #1, and this comic book here. It was just black and white. It was just an ink drawing, and
Right.
so I colored him, and I made the fire up. So that was
Nice.
one of my first attempts. Okay, I want to show. I do a fictitious comic book that I invented called Spaceship Saga. And this word I heard in one of the videos I was watching, a retro sci-fi style, like the 40s and
Right.
50s, the big bubble helmet kind of people. Well, I developed the trade dressing. It's almost there, and it's Far Out Comics, and each comic is just a cover, and the cover tries to tell a story. And this it has one line of text: the space plane.
Very cool. You know what that reminds me of is the Phoenix that they use for Battle of the Planets. I think it's called the Phoenix. Battle of the Planets, the ship that they're in. It looks really cool like that.
And so the next one, issue 2, I did in ink, and I saw how artists see how he uses thick ink to create shadow and texture and stuff. That's what I was shooting on this one, and this is called the Rendezvous, where several spaceships come together.
Very cool.
And issue 3 is called the Dogfight, and so they're having a fight, two of these aircraft. And it's comedy on this one. It goes, "Captain, we're under attack. It's warping the hull." And the captain goes, "Quick, get out the duct tape."
Because we all know, thanks to Red Green, that duct tape fixes everything.
That's right. And if it don't work, get out a hammer. That helps too.
That's right.
And this is called The Landing right here. And I saw this spaceship on Instagram. I don't know who posted it. It's just one of those old time comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And I started modifying it, and I drew an alien world, and this was before my trade dressing it was developing. And this is the way home. So he's been on his mission, and he's heading home. I like the way the trade dressing turned out on this one. Kind of spacey. And then there's the Earth and the Moon, very tiny. He's still far away. And all of my comics are 10 cents.
No, that's the best price ever.
And this is called The Spacewalk. This guy's fixing a satellite.
Very cool.
And I did it all red. You know those red and black comic books?
Yeah.
Red, white, and black comic books.
I love those.
I did a red cover.
Oh, nice.
This is called The Red Planet. And I have the basic shape of the letters, but I try different things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Spaceship Saga. You know how the Hulk always messes up the trade dressing in a lot of.
Do.
That's what I was kind of shooting for on this one.
That is very cool.
And,
I love
and this is called The Javelin's Journey and her sister ship, The Victory. And how I got the Victory, I looked up English war vessels, the early English, you know, this big sailboats and stuff. And one of them was the Victory. I like the name of that. And
that's really cool. Steve, how many more have you got? Because we're getting to the point where I've got to sort of wrap up. Because,
okay. I did 2 or 3 drawings for 300 and something days, so there's 1,000 of them. I want to show a little good girl art. Okay.
Okay. We'll let you be, and we'll get to that. I just know that there's a lot of shows at 8 o'clock that people like to watch. That's why.
Yeah, I want to see those shows.
Yeah,
I'm not going to talk about them. I'm just going to flip through them so you can see a bunch.
Very cool.
This was an actual comic book that Chonko showed that I drew.
Oh, nice. I remember that one actually.
And this is for my imagination here. I like her.
I like her too.
I like her expression. And this is the brown-eyed girl.
Nice. I remember when I used to say sha la 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 with her. So.
And she is very proud. She's a very proud looking woman right there.
Very, very mysterious.
And this is a sultry woman on Bikini Beach. And this is a different pose I'm trying.
Have a good rest of your shift there, Mike.
And there's the Beatles in the yellow submarine spying on her.
Ah, the Beatles.
And here's someone was asking about anime style. I think I saw this on Alan or Steve was showing it. Or,
very cool.
And the next one I might have to censor. But it's art. It's not anything but art. So I'm going quick on it.
Cool.
And that's as graphic as I ever got. And this was a comic book cover. I go to the dollar bins. I see something. Oh, I'd like to draw that. I'll buy the comic and take it home and try to draw it. And I like her expression. You know.
Oh, that looks natural. I like that. Hi, Brian. Welcome to the show.
And the next ones, I call them sisters because I think they look like sisters. And it's like, oh, that hot pepper was a little too hot, you know.
Very cool.
And I learned that the bigger you draw something, the easier it is to draw expression. And when you draw tiny, it's really hard to do that. And oh my.
I've read that on many places.
And here's another good girl.
That's a good one.
And you see all these poses and stuff in comic books, and you try to draw them. I'm whipping through these. And this one used to say she used to say comic book nerds are sexy. And this is a lady at a dinner party. She just looks like somebody to see at a dinner party. And this is the kind of gal that's always a comedian. Has got something funny on her mind or is up to something.
Very cool. Very cool.
Purple hair, you know. And this is a middle-aged woman that's about to chew her husband out. But I love her hair. Look how her hair turned out.
Very,
but
very good.
She's got that look. I don't know if any married men out there.
What did you you did something again, boy. You're going to be in trouble now.
Yeah, I guess all us married men have got that look from time to time.
Oh, yes. We know that.
And there's an elf woman. I like her necklace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming down to the end.
Awesome.
Here's an English Victorian woman. And I try to draw.
Wow. That's a good one. That I like the style of the hat, and I really like the hairstyle you put on that.
And this next one, I saw a video where if you do an ink drawing, there's no erasers and you can't make a mistake. So it develops line confidence, they were saying in the video. So that was me doing that.
Yep.
And I love the look on this girl's face here. The expressions. If you draw eyes bigger or smaller or corners of the mouth different. And here's another ink drawing.
Oh, very cool. Most of those you've sent me pictures of, and I think that's great. But there's a couple there I haven't seen.
Yeah. And here's Mary Jane. And she's talking. There's something strange about Peter Parker. He keeps late hours and has a fat lip, a black eye, bruises. I never met a guy that gets smugged as much as he does. Do you think he's having an affair on me? Got that look.
Well, he does get the crap kicked out of him a lot, eh?
And she's got an expression. I like her expression. You bend her lips. You do something different than the norm. And you draw all kinds of different types of hair. There's her hair. And then her, she's having a peace sign going up.
Very cool.
And here's another art piece.
Ooh. On that note.
Oh, don't let me end on that one. One more.
All right.
And I saw a picture of a lady drawn with her eyes closed, and I tried to do a pencil of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's a better one to end on.
Yes, I'm very proud of you, Steve, and I'm sure a lot of other people out there are very proud of you. I know that, as I said to you before the show, a lot of us discuss your art, especially some of the stuff you send us pictures, and we are very, very proud of you and the steps that you've made. And more importantly, I certainly hope that you're enjoying yourself more than anything.
Yes, I am enjoying myself. And before I go, I just want to particularly thank a few artists in the community. Everybody has given me great encouragement when I show them the art, share the art, but especially Up and Adam, terrific artist. SideQuest Eric, terrific artist. Big B McFly. Those were the people I sent my art to first before I started sending them to everybody else, because I thought, send them to real artists because they'll give you the truth. And they all been through different levels of advancement in their progression as an artist. So they understood. I mean, they truly had a deeper understanding, I think. And thanks, guys. And everybody that's watched this show tonight, thank you. And everybody that's enjoyed the artwork, I'm going to try to keep them coming. And I wish everybody a happy, Merry Christmas.
You know what? You keep this going, and in about 6 months or so, we'll bring you on. And we'll have you on again and show you. You can show some of your new stuff then. And we'll be able to say, wow, Stevie, you're really getting great. Because it's obvious that you are progressing very well. and thank you very much for sharing with us tonight. I appreciate it. I'm sure my crowd has appreciated it. And if you're watching this on the rerun, if you are not subscribed to Stevie D, the link is in the description of this video. You need to go check him out. I was number 20 on Steve's subscriber list. He's up to in the hundreds now. 135, I think I saw earlier. He deserves to have a lot more. So just give him a watch. He has a lot of fun. He's definitely the nicest guy on YouTube. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. My name's Matt. I like comics, and I hope you do too. Next week, we have Comic Showcase Shop. Brittany is going to join us, and I'm looking forward to talking with her because I find her, if you haven't checked her out yet, check her out on the Comic Showcase Shop channel because she's got some interesting stuff. I watched her open up like 100 blind bags today. Thank you all very much. Bye, everybody.